Hello, welcome back to our cookery lockdown. I hope you've enjoyed our previous videos. Today we're going to do like a Millie's cookie style, a Millie's style cookie. The ones that you can buy in like the cookie shops, in like the shopping centres, that sort of thing. You have little cookie shops and they sell these cookies. So we're going to do a Millie style cookie. We're going to do a Smartie one and a Rolo one. Again, you can change the recipe what you like to put in it. You can put chocolate chips, you put some nuts in there. You can adapt it to your own style. We're going to be doing it with my son, so he's going to take the lead on this one quite a lot actually. So he's going to be doing this, and it's mainly just to get the family involved. I know it can be quite boring lockdown, especially for the children, and not seeing their friends as much. And I know we're easing up a little bit more, but keep them occupied a little bit. So I thought it'd be quite nice for him to sort of take the lead, show you how easy it is to make, and get your kids, grandkids involved. They're really nice. They come out nice. They've got that nice chewy centre. Again, if you want them crispy, you can bake them a little bit longer. But I quite like them soft and chewy in the middle with a bit of a crispy outside. So they're really nice. We'll run through the ingredients. I'll give you a list of the equipment needed, and it isn't that much. They're really simple to make, so and they're really enjoyable to eat at the end as well. So I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll get baking. Okay, so we're going to get on with making our cookies. Now Harry's going to be doing quite a lot today, because I want to show how easy it is to get your kids involved. Really good for you. Gives your kids something to do whilst we're on lockdown still. I know we're easing up a little bit now, but there's still something to do. Keep them occupied, because I know Harry's getting a bit bored inside, just doing schoolwork, not being able to go out and play with his friends. So it's a good way. And you are going to drop some of these off to your school, aren't you? The teachers that have been sending you some work. So he's doing these. So it's good for, I suppose, your mental well-being, others' mental well-being, giving them as a gift and that. So you can still drop them off onto someone's door, knock on their door and give them as a gift. Okay, so Harry's going to be doing quite a lot of this today. He's going to be doing some talking. He's going to tell you about them as well. Okay, so he's going to run through the ingredients first. Okay, so he's going to show you what ingredients we need. So obviously you need to show them in the camera, Harry. So if you want to tell them what ingredients we're going to need for these cookies. Okay.
125 grams of unsalted butter.
Okay, show them then. That's it. So we can see.
And maybe a bit softened.
Soften it, yeah, well done.
115 grams of soft brown sugar.
Yeah.
110 grams of white caster sugar.
So make sure we use the white caster sugar, don't use the granulated sugar. We want the fine. If you use the granulated sugar, it's a bit coarse.
One medium egg.
Okay, so what have you done to it?
You crack it and then inside, and then you mix it up a bit. Okay. And then vanilla extract.
Show them the label. Show them the label.
1 teaspoon.
Show it to the camera. There. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Yep.
220 grams of self-raising flour.
And what are we going to do with that flour when we mix it in, Harry, do you think?
Sieve it.
Yeah, okay.
Half of a teaspoon of salt. And 200 grams of chocolate chips. We're using Smarties and Rolos.
Okay, because we like writing Smarties and Rolos, don't we? And we think they look good. So obviously we're trying to copy, sort of give a similar cookie to the Millie's cookie, the cookie shop that you find in the shopping centres and that. So we're going to do a similar cookie to that. So we're going to do them with Rolos and Smarties and Checker chocolate chips. You could use chocolate chips if you want, if that's what you got in. You could use dried fruits in your cookies. You could use some nuts in your cookies. So there's quite a lot you can use in there. So if you've got Smarties or Rolos, don't worry. Use any chocolate that you've got. some fruit, dried fruit, some nuts. So don't worry about that, or you can leave them plain if you like them plain. So obviously we're using Smarties and Rolos, so we're going to do a bit of a mixture. But again, don't worry if you haven't got them. Okay, so Harry's going to go through the stages of making these cookies for you, just to show you how easy it is to get your family, get your children, your grandchildren involved. He's going to show you how easy it is to make these. He's going to try not to wipe his nose as well on camera, so we obviously make sure your hands are washed and that. Try not to touch your face while you're baking. Obviously for hygiene reasons, make sure your area is nice and clean, all your equipment. Okay, so Harry's going to explain these stages. Okay, Harry?
Yeah.
To start, so what's your method? Stage one?
Stage 1. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. But if you have a fan oven, 180 degrees Celsius or gas mark 4, and line 2 baking trays with baking parchment.
Just like that. Okay, so make sure you get your oven and your baking trays ready. So when your mix is done, you can go straight in the oven. Okay, so you just want to get those basic preparation methods ready. Yeah? Okay?
Stage 2.
Okay.
In a large bowl, cream together the butter and the sugars until pale and fluffy. Then add the egg and vanilla extract and mix together well. Right,
So we need to cream together our butter, so that means give it a really good mix together. So empty your butter into the bowl. Okay, so make sure your butter's nice and soft. It makes it really easy to mix, and if it's hard, it's going to take you a long time. So you want it nice and soft. So leave it out of the fridge for a while, or just pop it in the microwave to soften slightly. So again, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you don't like butter, you could use vegetable margarine. Okay, so you want to make sure it's nice and soft.
You need the sugars in it as well.
Okay, so you add your caster sugar.
Yes.
Should just pour in, Harry. Okay, I'll take the bowl for you.
Then you need your brown sugar.
So your soft brown sugar, yeah. Okay, so
And then you need to mix it.
just gently mix it at the beginning to make sure once we got the butter and the sugar together, then you can be a bit more.
And then when it goes pale and fluffy,
Okay, so just gently mix it first.
gently mix it. The butter might stick a lot, so you have to like really get in there to try get.
So just keep on mixing that. Now, if you've got a food mixer, you could put the beater on it, and you could beat it, or you could whisk it to use a whisk, and it whisks together quite well. If you whisk it, it gets the air in quite nicely, but you need to get the sugar and butter together before you start getting a bit vigorous. Okay, so keep mixing. So really give it a good mix, Harry. So we've been mixing this for a minute now. It's all come together.
It's hard now.
And it does come tough, but I'll hold the bowl and just give it a real good stir.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it. Do you want me to have a quick go?
Yeah.
Okay, so just really give it a good mix and beat together. Just scrape down the sides every now and again.
It looks beautiful.
So you might need to help your children with this,
Yeah.
because it can be quite stiff.
A lot stiff.
But the softer the butter, the easier it is. So we're going to keep doing that until the mixture becomes pale and fluffy. So we've been mixing this for about 4 or 5 minutes now, and it's just changed colour, it's gone a little bit paler, it's nice and soft, it's nice and fluffy. Okay, so we're going to go on and we're going to add, what are we going to add to it now?
Right, so stage 3.
It's not stage 2.
Oh, add the egg and vanilla extract.
Okay, so add the egg. So you mix it, or do you want me to mix it? And you can slowly add the egg. Don't add it too quick, because if you add it too much at a time, the mixture will start to split. So just add it a little bit at a time. So just pour a little bit in at a time, Harry. That's enough, yeah. And this will just soften it a little bit more. And the egg will help the cookies rise a little bit as well. A little bit more, please, Harry.
That smells nice.
They're quite sweet. They're maybe not the healthiest biscuit,
Not the healthiest.
because they've got quite a lot of sugar in there. They've got the butter in there. But sometimes we need to indulge ourselves just to make ourselves feel a little bit better.
I've smelled that smell before somewhere.
Yeah. And as long as you're not eating too many of these,
Is that jam?
they're not going to be too unhealthy. So just, obviously, we like to share ours with neighbours and friends.
Kind of smells like jam.
Jam, well, it's going to be sweet. So, okay, that's it. So just add your egg in, not too much.
Oh, did I add too much?
That's
there?
fine. That's okay. So just a little bit of time, and it's good if you've got two of you doing this. You can do this between you. It makes it a lot easier. Not yet. I'll tell you when to add a bit more.
Yeah, put a
Okay,
bit
so
too
we're just
much.
adding a little bit of time.
Put a bit. That definitely smells like that jam.
Okay, right. Add a bit more then.
It's starting to get a bit sticky.
Okay, and then you can put the last of that egg in now. That's it. So that's our egg mixed in. Okay, you finish stirring that in. And what's on next? What have we got else we've got to add in apart from the egg?
Vanilla extract.
So a teaspoon of vanilla. I'll put that for you. Okay, I'm going to put a couple in because we're doing a double mix. Okay.
You put two in because we're doing double the amount that it's on here. Oh, that smells so
So give it a good mix in.
good. Like that.
Okay.
Oh, it smells.
Okay, so we're mixed in now.
Almost.
I think you're right there. So what we're going to do now?
After the stage 3.
Stage 3. Okay, so what's stage 3?
Sift the flour and salt, and then add to the egg mixture, mixing thoroughly until a soft dough forms. Finally, stir in the chocolate chips.
Okay, so we're going to sieve the flour in. Okay, so we're going to pour the flour into the sieve, and we're just going to do that over the top. So pop all that in. Now again, we're sieving the flour. Why are we sieving the flour?
So all the like big parts in it get stuck in. So because we don't want all the big parts.
The lumps, yeah.
The lumps in.
Big bits and
And we
lumps.
need a bit of salt. So 1 teaspoon of salt because we're doing half a teaspoon of salt, but we're doing extra, so we're going to put 1 teaspoon of salt.
Yeah, so we won't put a teaspoon. We'll just put just over half. We'll check your butter as well. If you're using salted butter, you probably won't need the salt. So I'm just going to put a little bit of salt in. That just helps bring the flavours out.
Should I mix it?
Okay, so just gently mix it, Harry, because if you mix it too hard, the flour's going to go everywhere. So just gently mix it in.
The flour is like
So just fold it. So when you're folding it, all we're going to do,
just like
so just go round and fold it over.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's round and fold. Okay. So just gently, we don't want the flour to go everywhere.
Round and fold. Round and
So sieving the flour is going to get any lumps out, any bits that we don't want in there, and it's also just going to make the flour a little bit lighter, so it helps the cookies fluff up a little bit.
It's just got sticky.
Okay, so we've been mixing this now. It's just come to a nice, like soft dough, so biscuit dough.
It's got really sticky.
Okay, So this is, if you were adding chocolate chips, you could add your chocolate chips here. If you were adding your other sweets, you could add them here. We're going to do a few Rolos and a few Smartie ones. So we're going to split the mix into 2, okay, and then do some. So 1 second, Harry. So when I do the Smarties, I like to mix some of the Smarties in with the mix, and then I'll bake them, and then just halfway through baking, I'll just pop a few on top, just so they don't lose their colour as much. Okay, so I'm going to split my mix into 2 now, and then we're going to mix our chocolates in with it. Okay, so for the Smarties, all we're going to do is just, we've got one, we're going to put these Smarties into there, mix them through. We're going to do, okay, so mix those through.
Mix those. Yes, yes, yes. How am I mixing it this fast?
Okay.
We go.
Okay, so you mix that through, and then we're going to...
Put one.
No, we're not going to do them. We do the Rolos separate. Okay, so just scrape your spoon down.
Yes.
And then all we're going to do, we're going to get our baking tray, and you want to get enough dough, and just, it is quite a little bit sticky and soft still, and then you want to...
Let's have one Smartie in it.
About the size of a walnut.
Yes.
So just roll it into a ball about the size of a walnut, and then pop it onto your tray. Now you're going to have to leave a good space between them, because they will spread out. So I'd probably do about 8 on a tray.
Okay.
Leave a good gap between them. So about the size of a walnut, Harry. Yeah. And then just roll into the ball, and then leave a good gap between them.
About this?
A bit more.
Oh.
So see the gap I've left between them there, yeah? Okay, that's about right. So now,
Like that?
yeah. Okay, so maybe that slightly. So you should be able to get 8 on a tray.
At least 8.
If you want to make them a little bit bigger, because sometimes when you buy them at the Millie shop, they're quite big. So if you want to make them a bit bigger, you could just make the ball a little bigger, but they will spread out and bake.
That?
Yeah. So a little bit closer, just a tiny bit closer together. That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, and then you, yeah, should be able to fit one more on there. Then. A little bit more in the mix.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're just going to repeat that until we've done both our trays. Okay, so we spread our cookies on the trays nice and evenly. Yeah? Harry? Okay, so what do we need to do?
Place in the oven and bake for 7 minutes for the ultimate Millie experience, or 10 minutes if you prefer a crunch. Leave to cool on the trays for about 10 minutes, then transfer onto a cooling wire to cool completely.
Okay, so we're going to put them in the oven for about 7 minutes. So Millie's cookies are usually quite chewy in the middle, so they've got like a crispy outside and a little bit chewy in the middle. Again, if you want them crunchy, just leave them in the oven for another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, we're going to leave ours a little bit chewier than that, because we're going to put some more Smarties on as well. So halfway through baking, we're going to take the trays out and we're just going to pop a few more Smarties in there, because I find when you do put Smarties in the oven, sometimes the colour fades on them, so if they've been in there too long. So we're just going to put a few more on the top of the cookies once they spread out, just for a bit of more presentation, a bit more colour, and to add a few more Smarties. So they're going to go in the oven. Remember, 200 degrees C, 180 degrees C if you've got a fan oven, or gas mark 4 for 7 minutes.
Okay, so the Smartie ones are in the oven, so we're going to do the roller ones now. There's a few more Smarties in one pack than maybe one row of Rolos.
So for about half of the batch of cookies, we're going to do Rolos. So again, like similar to Smarties, just empty your packet in there and we're going to mix them through.
And I'm just going to mix it with this thing. Forgot what they're called. I'm just going to, yeah.
And then again with this, once your trays are free, you can roll these into the same sort of size and then bake them again for 7 minutes. So these have been on for about 3.5 minutes.
No.
So obviously be careful if you're taking them out with children. We don't want to burn them with the hot trays. And then all we're going to do is we're going to just pop a few more Smarties on top, just so they show a bit more colour, they're a bit more presentation. So just put a few, careful, remember it's hot.
Put them more of them in the ones that don't have them in many Smarties. So that one has 3 in it, so I'm just going to put 1 in that one.
Maybe try putting different colours in there as well, so you've got different colours, they're not all the same colours.
Maybe some of them look like they have faces, like that one.
You could do if you wanted to, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put 1 more in that one.
All done? Okay, so we're going to put those back in the oven now to finish off for another 3 minutes, and they should start to colour up on the outside and still be chewy in the middle.
Okay, so these have just come out of the oven, and now I think they're ready.
So we need to leave them to cool for how long?
For about, I forgot.
So that, you forgot. So leave them on the tray for about 10 minutes just to cool down. They'll firm up a little bit, and then once you've had that 10 minutes, the trays will be cool, and you can transfer them to a cooling rack just to let them cool completely. Okay, so they should have like a slight golden brown. So depending on your oven, you might have a few hot spots. You can see maybe a couple of mine are a little bit darker than the others, but they should have a nice goldeny brown sort of colour around the outside. But hopefully they should be nice and chewy in the middle.
They should smell really nice.
And they should smell really nice. Okay, so you can see obviously putting the Smarties on top halfway through baking keeps them reasonably nice and coloured. They do, like I say, they do tend to fade. That's why I always leave some until halfway through to put them on top. But you also get that colour on top as well. They don't sink in.
That one's faded
a little bit, yeah. So leave them to cool on the tray, transfer them to a cooling wire, and then we'll just repeat, because we're doing a Rolo mix as well, we'd just do the same as we would do the Smarties. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you get the kids involved. I think it's a really good one for the kids. You can be really creative with the biscuits, so please give it a try. Please send in a picture if you can of your finished product. Give us a bit of feedback, tell us what you felt about it. Also, any suggestions, again, any for future videos, please give us some suggestions, leave a comment or email me, contacting me through the hub pages. Yep, any suggestions. Again, hope you enjoyed doing this. Please like and share the video, let people know, and we'll see you on the next session. Thank you very much.